Welcome back to the WCS America Premier League. I'm axslav here with schamtoo, and we're in a very exciting Group D. But before we jump into our next match, I remind you guys, if you're interested in what type of potential educational opportunities are out there, one thing to check out is Full Sail University. Go to www.fullsail.edu and you can see all the different programs, get information about their audio engineering programs, their video production programs, their 3D animation programs, their game design programs, all these different programs to get you the education you need to find yourself a career in the video game design or esports industry. Full Sail University is, of course, the official education partner of the MLG. Of course, now we're in Group D. We've already seen 4 matches go on. First, we saw Suppy 2-0 Heart. Then we saw Hellokitty fall to Ryung 2-0.
And then we saw after that Suppy 2-0 Ryung, Heart 2-1 loss to Hellokitty. And now we're seeing Hellokitty versus Ryung. Ryung, pretty strong opponent. Hellokitty proving pretty well in PvT when he builds a second Nexus. So let's see how well that axiom holds true as we go into our first game here on Aquilon Wastes.
Of course, Suppy has already advanced from this group to the round of 16. Heart has already fallen down to the Challenger Division. We're now here with Hellokitty versus Ryung. The winner of this will go on to join Suppy in the round of 16. The loser falls to the Challenger Division. Game 1 is on Aquilon Wastes.
Alright guys, so we're going to get on into this map now. Aquilon Wastes, as we were saying before, Hellokitty likes to do those one-base cute little things here and there. And Aquilon Wastes is a pretty good map to do that. You have a lot of little places to hide, but of course we've been seeing the Axiom guys be very, very aggressive with their scouting. Being incredibly meticulous, covering every single small little part of the map. So I don't think we're going to see Hellokitty go for anything too crazy. But that's what I'm pretty excited about. Spawning up here in the top left-hand corner, our red Terran player. It is Axiom Ryung. And spawn down here in the bottom right-hand corner, Hellokitty. Definitely catching everybody off guard today. Our blue Proton player. Now we've had some pretty good upsets so far.
Definitely, and they've come from all sources. I mean, a lot of people saw Suppy's games against Ryung. We're like, okay, he caught him off guard with a couple Roach Bane Nolans. But important things to note, it's the second game he didn't catch Ryung off guard. Ryung scouted it very early on.
And Ryung in himself went for something very kind of cheesy,
true.
You know?
Exactly. And the first series, the Suppy vs. Heart, was just an absolutely amazing series. Anyone who missed those games, go check them out. YouTube.com/officialmlgsc2. They should be up there in a few hours. Absolutely amazing series was the first series of the night.
Hellokitty, we're going to have to watch exactly what he's doing. If he pops out that second Nexus, you know, I'm going to be pretty excited because I think it's going to be a really good game. But if he doesn't, you know, it's possible that we could actually see one of his builds actually succeed that rely on one base. This is a pretty good map for a lot of different builds. Actually, I'm going for a very standard build himself. Got the gas and barracks going up already. Nothing too crazy, nothing cutting SCVs, nothing wild.
He's in his first match. Hellokitty, of course, already played Ryung, lost 0-2, attempted one base attacks both games, and didn't work out. And then he tried a one base attack against Heart, it didn't work out, and then he started playing macro games and won 2 in a row against Heart. So it looks like, again, he's going to go for that Nexus build, not mining 3 off of each gas. Just enough gas to afford that Mothership Core, Warp Gate, Stalker after he puts down a Nexus.
If he puts down a Nexus.
Oh, he will. He will.
You're dealing with Hellokitty, man. He's a wild card.
This is true. This is true. But
SCV comes in here, gets some scouting off, trying to make sure he's counting for every little probe once again. And Ryung, I mean, so incredibly solid player. And
is he gonna cancel the Zealot? I don't think he can cancel the Zealot. He does.
He does. He cancels it.
Oh, he's ahead of the SCV. It's SCV just got a little bit faster. Man, if you cancel a Zealot and then you're not able to get that Nexus down,
that's a devastating blow right there.
Oh, it is. I mean, it's not just devastating emotionally to how bad your build gets screwed up, but like gameplay-wise, really, really messes your build up. Hellokitty getting that Nexus down, though, knew that he had that time there because the probe was ahead of the SCV by just enough space.
So going back up into those 3 guys on gas on each side. Got his first Stalker coming out. Mothership Core now out as well. doing a little scout around the natural, making sure there's no pesky little SCVs waiting there to scout. There's a Reaper out. There we go, getting a little bit of scouting information. Misses the bottom corner again.
That's right.
Nothing there, but he does miss the bottom corner, and I'm sure Ryung's going to be thinking about the fact that he missed that bottom corner.
He very well might. This looks like the exact build Hellokitty used on Daybreak against Heart. So Ryung might be ready for that as well. We saw Heart really, the Oracle did nothing. But Hellokitty was able to win in the macro game later on when he got the 4 bases. But the initial Oracle itself wasn't really able to get too much damage done. Let's see if he's able to get a little bit more done with it up here against Ryung.
Ryung did go for that 1-1-1, so he might have a Widow Mine in a defensive position, ready for those Oracles. A Photon Overcharge used to kill that Reaper. And that Reaper is now gone. Did it see this? Did he get into the main base?
No.
I was looking at Ryung's base, yeah. Okay, good.
I feel that was worth it. Especially considering the Oracle is going to put Ryung on the defensive, right? So he doesn't need that energy right now, and the Reaper is such a great scout throughout the game. It can poke in, see when he takes a third. It can continually poke in, see the gas timings on a natural. It can see the probe saturation at the natural. And all these things, it's just great if you can knock it out to make it, more expensive for the Terran to scout going forward.
All right, so now the Oracle is out.
Oh, look. Is he going to... He's looking for maybe a proxied Stargate up there. I thought he was going to get the Watchtower and hang out. Oh, he's going to try to get into the natural. Stalker will deny him.
Yes, there's a Stalker and a Mothership Core. And a Probe too, just in case he needs to go all in on that SCV.
I love using a Stalker to clear out the zone. Although he didn't actually send the Oracle in that Watchtower zone.
The Oracle just went to the very, very bottom left corner, is now heading its way up. Let's take a look at where those Marines are. They're hanging out right on the ramp so they can easily jump down to the natural or up to the main base. It's whether or not that Oracle's going to get enough kills in the time that the Marines take to get there.
There's no Widow Mine here.
And here comes that Oracle, now going to be able to take out a little bit of at least one of those SCVs. Cancels its beam and now is going to exit. Only 1 kill, but it's still alive.
Very fast reaction from Ryung, of course. That's what's necessary to defend against Oracle. Just run those SCVs immediately.
Now the Marines are down in the natural. He's going to go straight on up into the main base. Is there a Widow Mine over there?
Oh, so many. Oh, that was brutal. 10 probes killed by the Widow Mine drop. Oracle trying to equalize. And again, the SCVs are pulled, only getting 1 more SCV kill, another SCV kill. Not quite as much as those Widow Mines did, though, unfortunately.
Yeah, unit counting station right now, 32 to 32 in the Harvester count. Oracle being chased away once again by these Marines, and now it's pretty out of energy. It can't really use that beam yet again. It's going to have to sit there and recharge. Siege Tank coming out here from Ryung, being very defensive.
It's never really bad to get 1 Siege Tank if you're taking a fast third base, just to make sure, they can't kill you with any timing. It's great against Gateway timings. You focus down to sentries. It's great against Colossi timings as well. So a nice defensive measure if you want to ensure you live to the late game.
Oracle gets picked off there by Ryung. Very, very nicely played there. And, we're sitting pretty even, except for the fact that there's mules out there.
Yes, Hellokitty would love to have a few more workers than 40 at this point. Widow Mine's doing devastating damage. And he's not building, maybe because he took so many probe losses there, he's not building that Phoenix fleet up to the same point that he did against Heart. Instead, he's just, saying, okay, I can afford, to get the Colossi and the upgrades, but because I lost so many probes, we'll put the Phoenix production on the back burner for a little bit. He may even choose not to use that same Phoenix Colossi combination that he did against Heart.
He is, however, going for much earlier 1-1 than we saw in that game against Heart. He's got those in the very back of his base, chrono boosting them up. And he's got a nice little 1 Phoenix just waiting for that medevac. So he's playing very, very safe, trying to get those upgrades up. Heart himself, Ryung himself also getting his +1/+1 and stim. So we're sitting in a nice little standstill between these two players.
It is. I think so far it's definitely a fairly even game here. Oh, Ryung's, if he sees the third, that's a nice thing for him. knowing exactly the your opponent's build, the fact he's taking a third, not going for a timing, is going to leave Ryung free to either move his third base out or try to hit a time. It looks like the third base is being moved out. Ryung's still investing in so much tech right now, getting stim, combat shield, 1-1, all at the same time. He wants to stay defensive until those upgrades complete.
Throwing down those reactors as well. I mean, we're just going into super macro mode between both of these players. Thermal Lance now coming out 1-1, just about to finish up here for our Protoss opponent. Hellokitty throwing down more gateways. Just doing all the things, both of these players.
I really like Hellokitty's build. It's just... Phoenix Colossus is a fun composition to watch. It comes down really to positioning in a big way. And positioning is something that's really cool to see, you know, which player can manipulate that more to their advantage. I also like the fact that, you know, the third base is often very difficult to defend from drop play because drops can go between the third and the main so easy. It's hard to cover both those spots and a frontal assault and defend it back here natural from a drop. But using these Phoenixes really kind of fills in the hole in that drop defense.
Yeah, Phoenix is incredibly fast. They can chase down pretty much every single medevac drop if they really need to. And that really punishes the Terran player who can sometimes invest a lot in those drops. And when those drops keep failing, Terran falls very far behind.
Ryung, similar to Hart, not getting a second starport against this Phoenix Colossi composition. He did scan and see part of Hellokitty's army, and seeing the fact that there's not that many units, he may suspect there's some units elsewhere, or he may think, okay, he's probably making Phoenixes as well. Now there goes that second starport. I think this is a much stronger decision than what Hart chose. Of course, Hart chose to use Ghosts against this Phoenix Colossi competition and a smaller Viking count.
And he's also getting that ship weapons once again, as we saw from Hart, which is a very, very smart maneuver, making those Vikings incredibly powerful. And I really like that, you know, those Vikings are incredibly crucial in taking out those Colossus, and you need to make sure that those Colossus are going to go down as fast as possible. As well as being able to protect your medevacs away from those Phoenixes. Medevacs also incredibly important, because if you lose your medevacs, you have to make more Vikings. But if you keep your medevacs alive, you don't have to make as many Vikings as soon as you take out those Colossus.
This is true. Looks like Ryung's going to have to put some pressure on, but I don't think he can win a fight right now. There's definitely more Phoenixes than there are Vikings, and there's a pretty good Colossi count. 4 Colossi are out. 4 more warp gates being added in. Charge 2-2. Ryung does have a little bit of a food advantage, but of course that's very normal in Terran vs. Protoss at this point in the game. It's not a crazy food advantage. And Hellokitty does have a really nice composition.
There's a fleet of Phoenixes waiting down here between the third and the main.
Oh man,
in that
imagine if he
airspace.
tries like a 4 medevac drop through that. That would actually be instant game over if he tried to drop on that. But if those Phoenixes aren't in position when Ryung engages, okay, he sees the army.
He sees the army with the Observer. The Observer in a very good position here. Ryung not able to take it out, not spinning a scan. Doesn't have any detection.
Oh, there goes the scan.
Scans the main army. The main army's now moving out.
Oh, I think he saw the Phoenixes. I think he did. Cranking out Vikings 4 at a time. Going Viking and Marine. If he can get enough Vikings, he can pick at the army. He can just run in, shoot a volley, run back to the Marines so the Phoenixes can't pursue. Utilize the fact that the Vikings are faster than the Protoss ground army for the most part. And then also the fact that the Marines can protect the Vikings from the Phoenixes as long as they stay away from the Colossi. 5 ghosts being added too. Ryung making a very strong composition here.
This is almost like a Terran death ball, which is how you have to engage this army. I mean, as we were saying before, drop play is just not going to work out so well for Ryung. I mean, those Phoenixes are out there. He's going to lose a lot of his army trying to do that drop play. But here comes Hellokitty with that composition. All the Phoenixes in one unit space, following one of the Zealots.
Great bump down the Phoenixes. There's only 13 Vikings. The Phoenixes taking on very quickly. The Colossi not dying. Only 2 go down. But the Zealots have gone down, and now the Bio takes out the Colossi. A dramatic win for Ryung here.
40 food supply ahead, now 50 food supply ahead. Ryung in a very good lead coming out of that battle. Took very great use of the fact that the ground army was very weak for Hellokitty, and now pushing his advantage. Gonna probably deny this 4th base over here. Is he gonna go for drop play to finish this up as well?
Not against that many Phoenixes. That'd be pretty pretty risky. He's far ahead enough. He just has to keep denying bases, wait to heal up his units, reproduce. Of course, the fight was in a very open area, which is exactly where Hellokitty doesn't want to fight with his competition. Now trying to save his 4th base. The Terran army's cornered, and that's a lot of charge lots.
If he takes out these medevacs, these units are going to be pretty much forfeit, but there's just so much on the ground here. Melting those zealots, more and more reinforcements coming from behind. The 4th base goes down. The Colossus is taken out as well. The Archon is melted. And Ryung doing so much damage. I don't think that Hellokitty's army can survive too much longer if more and more reinforcements pour in here. Now Vikings coming in as well. As more and more army pour in, more Hellbats. And the medevacs keeping everything alive for so long.
Ryung just keeps, oh, a nice little elevator with them Marauders. Gonna focus down the Colossus. The Phoenix count is getting smaller as well. The Terran army's kind of spread out and the Zealots are chopping into pieces, but the 4th went down. More and more Terran reinforcements continually reinforcing.
Picking up those Marines to stop them from taking out the Phoenixes. But turns around with a healed army.
4 Templar being warped in. Ryung's got to back up, but I think he's very happy with the damage done now on 4 bases to the 3 of Hellokitty.
He's also just about to finish up 3-3 as well, plus and his +3 ship weapons as well. So those Vikings are going to be incredibly damaging against any Colossus, as well as the upgrade damage against those Phoenixes as well. Doing a very nice kiting, taking those Zealots on very slowly. Concussive shell, very useful against those Zealots as they try to charge in, but then just get one swipe off and then are just kited away.
Ryung gonna back away, probably wants to regroup, add in a few more Vikings to deal with the Colossus of Hellokitty. Also gonna use a few more medevacs. 2 medevacs is really not as many as he'd like. Of course, he lost a few to the Phoenixes. Just gonna collect himself, heal up his army, wait for the ghosts to be added in, wait for some of these upgrades to complete, and then go back and strike again before the 4th base of Hellokitty can really start kicking in and give that extra economical boost.
Storm just about to finish, +1 shields. Hellokitty ran out of upgrades, so now he's starting to get those shields. Going to make those Archons a little bit stronger. And of course, as soon as those High Templars spend all their energy, they can turn on into Archons as well.
Hellokitty is behind in food, but he does have Psystorm. Psystorm is a great equalizer. If you can land some massive storms, you can turn the game around.
Here comes a little bit of an engagement. Storm's going down. Storm's actually not hitting that much. The MMM army trying to engage as much of those Zealots as possible. The Colossus are now down. The Vikings are just doing a nice little victory lap here as nothing that's left but Archons, and the MMM army is just charging right on in here.
Ryung not even going for the 4, just going straight for the natural. So much bile, but there's no medevac energy. It's getting kind of low, but it doesn't matter. Enough units force Hellokitty out. Ryung takes game number 1.
Game number 1 there going to Ryung. Hellokitty went for the macro game, and for once it didn't work out for him. Here's that awesome engagement where all those Zealots come in here, and yeah, quite right, too open. Those Zealots, you can see just how fast they're melting to those Hellbats. Hellbats doing so much work there. The Vikings taking so many of the hits from the Phoenixes. The medevacs keeping everything alive. So well played.
It really was. It was not the ideal time for Hellokitty to engage there. He really wants to get either some extra sentries to keep that bile from flanking the Colossi, or wait until he has like 8 Colossi. And once you have 8, as long as your Phoenixes can take on those Vikings, the bile can't even get close enough to flank because it just gets absolutely melted incredibly fast.
All right, guys, so let's get on into game number 2. But first, a quick commercial break. We'll be right back. This is WCS America Premier League. Stay tuned.